YouTube is Rico, man. Back with another video. Y'all see what we got going on, man. We got HSM, the largest crew takedown in rap history by Trap Geek. I've been seeing he got a lot of videos he uploaded from last year, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna go here and react to him and stuff, man, because I see a lot of people doing reaction videos to a lot of his videos. So here it is. But other than that, before we get started, if you're brand new to the channel or you've been watching videos but you for some reason are not subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button right now, man. We on the grind to get to 1,200 subscribers. I believe right now we have 1,199. So even if we one subscriber away, everybody that's watching this video right now, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so we can hit our goal, and then the grind for 5K will begin. And other than that too, don't forget to leave a like and comment on the video as well, so you can help our channel get videos recommended out to a larger audience of supporters, hopefully. So definitely do that like and comment thing for us, and don't forget to go to the description box and add and follow us on our social media platforms to see what we do outside of YouTube. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and start this screen record. That's started and starting the video now.
This operation was intended to dismantle the NOB gang and take the most violent members of that gang off the street.
I don't expect to see these individuals out on the street the next day wearing a bracelet.
31 members and associates.
You know what that mean? They said they got so much against these niggas. It's like basically, shoot, they can't really give them any type of freedom at all. Like, they literally gonna lock them up and not let them get a chance to get out of jail. So basically, just by what that cop said, we already know how this finna go for them.
It's of Dorchester-based NOB Street Gang are now facing federal charges. Some were arrested this morning during raids in various parts of the state, including this scene in Attleboro.
Alright, we gotta talk about the NOB story. Probably one of the wildest things we've seen in a while. Also one of the biggest Rico cases in rap history. I'm talking 31 people taken down for Rico conspiracy spanning from Boston to Cape Cod to Maine and all across Massachusetts. So the faces of NOB are two rappers by the name of...
I could have swore, I think, in the GS9 Bobby Schmurder stuff, I could have swore they said they had more than 30 plus people get took down, but I might be wrong. Y'all comment down below, let me know if I'm right or wrong. But yeah, that's still a lot of people though. 31 people. They definitely had hella evidence to be able to get all of those people locked up for sure.
G Fredo and 7981 Cal. They got tracks with Polo G, Mozzie.
And that one slap. I heard that song. That's how I know about him. But G Fredo, I haven't listened to anything by him yet. I'm definitely have to go check him out though. But 7981 Cal, I definitely heard him in that Polo G song, and that was a banger to me, to be honest. But let's continue.
But they're pretty slept on in the mainstream. Everybody locally knows them, especially the feds, who had been watching for years. And they actually started to build a case against them in 2019 when they noticed these dudes were recreating murder scenes in their music videos that had gone unsolved in the city. They were filming music videos on their ops block.
They recreating murder scenes now? Yeah, they definitely was just asking to get attention. I understand where they was going with it though, but at the same time, they was also drawing bad attention from people that literally can't wait to lock these type of people up, and hopefully, basically based off of them, hopefully getting to lock them up for the rest of their life type shit. So yeah, they definitely went about it the wrong way, but at the same time, man, music is how people express what they going through and stuff. So hey, they just did what they was basically going through, put it that way.
Burning their ops' hats and super reckless shit. The feds were able to connect these music videos to a larger Rico conspiracy involving murders, beatings, bank fraud, pimping rings, and coke and fentanyl distribution across several state lines.
In fact, a couple of them were wearing GPS bracelets while committing their alleged...
What's crazy is the NOB gang knew this was coming. The rapper 7981 Cal even released a song called Rico a couple days ago. They could feel the walls closing in. Now, we're gonna get into all this, but before we do, check out my song of the day. This is my guy Foggy Raw. Let's go.
And the fact that dudes said they wore GPS monitors when they got these crimes happening around them times and stuff, because once police get like basically locations of where you been during around a time a crime happens, something like that, they definitely gonna try to put two and two together. But that's crazy. That mean they just didn't care and they was set on doing what they needed to do against the people that wasn't with them. So hey, that's definitely crazy, but yeah, that definitely should have never happened like that.
To understand this story, we gotta go to one hood in particular in Boston called Dorchester, and this is the home of the NOB gang. Now, NOB stands for the three streets that they rep: Norton, Olney, and Berry Street. And they've had this huge beef with two blocks that are literally 5 minutes away from them in both directions. Holmes Avenue to the south and Camrose Street to the east. Now what's crazy is most, if not all, the members of NOB are Cape Verdean. See, a lot of people don't know this, but Boston and the surrounding areas in Massachusetts have the highest Cape Verdean population outside of Cape Verde in the world, because a lot of folks from Cape Verde migrated to Massachusetts to take part in the whaling industry, where they would go off to the sea.
Yeah, I often say I never heard of Cape Verdeans before, so that's definitely new to me. But that just goes to show that it's so many different nationalities out here, pretty much, if I said that word right. But yeah, U.S. definitely pretty much got people of all nationalities, so that's crazy though. But yeah, let's continue.
Hunting for whales for their oil, meat, and whalebone, which that was big business till the 1920s. Then the industry died out. Boston became super gentrified, making rent literally the third most.
Yeah, rent in the U.S. crazy. I believe Chicago is gonna be on this list too, cause Chicago definitely almost damn near $2,000 a month just to live somewhere deep in the city parts. But yeah, man, that just goes to show that rent in some of these places, you damn near gotta have two jobs if you trying to live by yourself. Pretty much at the end of the day, if you living by yourself, you definitely gotta have like two jobs or be having hella overtime from one job. But yeah, that's crazy.
Expensive in America, pushing people into hoods. And you ended up with these triple-decker houses, many of which needed Section 8 to survive. But this is where it gets crazy. Not only are NOB mostly Cape Verdean, but the blocks that they're beefing with are also Cape Verdean, so you end up with cases where you literally got some cousins who are fighting each other. Blood cousins from opposite blocks, beefing with each other. I mean, I heard stories of the rapper G Fredo was at a family event with his own ops, and there was so much tension there, they had to separate them on each side of the party away from each other until it just got too hot.
And that's the crazy thing, man, because in a lot of cities like Chicago and stuff, from my home city and stuff, you got family beefing with family literally because they rep a different set, like different gangs. Like if you BD or GD or Vice Lord and what else? Yeah, Vice Lord beefing with GDs out there too. So pretty much it don't matter if y'all blood related or not. If y'all a part of one set, y'all either gonna try to be cordial or y'all just gonna be on each other's heads. So that's how it is out there. But yeah, that's crazy though, man. You literally got cousins beefing with cousins, and that's in a lot of places too, not just Chicago. Y'all already know how it is in the U.S. Every hood, almost damn near every state got cousins beefing with cousins through the gang stuff. So that's definitely crazy, but that's just, it is what it is, man, at the end of the day.
And they had to cancel the event altogether. Now, in 2017, G Fredo and 7981 Cal started releasing tracks to SoundCloud, and they were documenting everything they were doing in the streets, and this shit was escalating quickly. One day in September of 2017, 791 Cal and his homie Ricky were casing this Cape Verdean barbershop because they had seen one of their ops from Camrose Street go in there for a shape-up. Now, his name was Bunzo, and the NOB gang were notorious for using these scooters to do hits, because scooters are super mobile, you can get in and out of places that cars can't get into. So Bunzo went into the barbershop.
Sorry about that, guys. I had ended up getting a phone call, but I'm finna start the screen record back up now. That started, and we finna start back the video.
Following him into the barbers and allegedly unloaded 30 rounds into him, killing him on the spot. Cal got back on the scooter and dipped, The only problem for them was, at the time, his homie Ricky, who was casing the barbershop with him, was court-ordered to wear a GPS monitor, which gave the Boston PD the GPS info of him driving past the barbershop multiple times before Bunzo was murdered.
And that's what I was saying, man. Y'all wearing ankle monitors. Y'all definitely just asking the police to piece 2 and 2 together and stuff like that. So that y'all ain't really making it too hard for them to figure out who was involved or possibly involved and stuff. So yeah, they definitely basically just helped them out, making their job a little more easier. But before that, though, I want to just say about the scooter thing. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I ain't never heard of nothing like that, but hey, they said that's one of the main ways to get in and out of places in Boston. So, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do by any means, and that was what happened. So, dude went in there, followed him on a scooter, did what he did, bailed out on the scooter, and that was it. So that's crazy. But yeah, man, they definitely was going crazy, man, for sure.
The police got all that GPS data to prove that he's doing reconnaissance for the murder. Now, the state didn't act on it right away. Maybe it wasn't enough evidence. Maybe they weren't piecing that together. I don't know. And the shit continued to get violent. Right after they killed this guy Bunzo, Cal and Gfredo made the song Dead Ops. And they were just taunting Cameron Street. And what's wild about the music is Gfredo and Cal are getting hundreds of thousands of listens on SoundCloud. Meanwhile, their rivals from Cameron Street got no music. None. It's like a one-sided battle in the booth, right? They're beating up on them on the tracks, basically controlling the narrative. And while all this is going on, the NOB gang was spreading their enterprise. They opened up some trap houses where they were packing up heroin, fentanyl, coke, and they had a huge customer network that went as far as Cape Cod in one direction and Maine in the other. If one of the NOB members got booked, someone would take their place, and the money would get relayed back to 7981 Cal, who would pay for their lawyers, give them canteen money. I even heard stories of Cal and Gfredo getting dressed up as junkies to go down to the crackhead spot in the city, which is an intersection in Boston called the Methadone Mile.
And what's crazy is literally pretty much at the end of the day, they beating up on they ops pretty much through music, money, drugs, etc., and they getting paid bread. So it's like literally they got all this type of money and stuff to be able to do whatever they want to do, and they ain't got no type of ops in the studios going crazy on music and none of that. So they basically got everything all on their side, just going up with W's pretty much at the end of the day. So they ops got no choice but to really just sit there and take that. Like, as crazy as it sounds, but they just had to basically take that by force. It's like, you ain't got no music to this NOB, you ain't got no possibly no industry money, or let alone show money from doing shows and stuff for music. Then on top of that, y'all drugs, like y'all customers and all that stuff, probably not even as big as NOB. Then on top of that, they literally just got so much money to ride around and plot on y'all and do stuff to y'all. So it's like y'all really got no choice but to sit back and take it, because 9 times out of 10, nobody on y'all side is gonna be able to really get a get back on them that much. Like, it ain't gonna be as often as how they was doing it, pretty much what I'm getting from this. So that's crazy, man. NOBs, yeah, they definitely was going crazy in Boston.
And they would do deals as crackheads. But the problem was the state was onto them, right? The Boston police had several undercover officers playing the role of addicts who went to go make purchases off NOB members who were dealing. They had transaction records through text and phone, and they started to build up some evidence of the drug trafficking that NOB was doing. But even the state didn't know the scope of things. They might have made a couple of petty drug arrests here and there, but NOB kept expanding their operations. One night in February of 2018, Gfredo and one of his shooters pulled up to Cameron Street in a Chrysler Pacifica. They were doing a drill. They saw one of their rivals, whose name was John Collin, chilling in front of his house. So they doubled back a second time and pulled the car in slowly. Gfredo and his boy went stealth mode through an alley that was adjacent to John's house, and once they saw him, they started shooting. Once they dropped him, they made it back to the Chrysler and dipped. And a woman rushed over to John to see if he was okay, and as he was bleeding out, he pointed to the Chrysler and said, "That was Gfredo," and he bled out and died. Less than 6 weeks after that murder, Gfredo...
That's crazy. Like, you literally basically got a hit to do on somebody, and before that person even died, they literally pointed out the vehicle that you were last seen in and name dropped you pretty much. And now that person that was helping the person that you tried to do a hit on and kill, which he did, ended up dying, but still he was still able to tell that person that was such and such. So now when the police come, you pretty much gonna get caught now, because they already know your name and everything. They ain't even have to do much searching or none of that to try to piece stuff together. Now they got your name. That's all they need to really go out and look for you. So that's crazy. What a coincidence that his op had a chance to at least say who he was while you took off and stuff, and then died. Like, that's a lot of crazy coincidence right there. Police would love to have that in a lot of the murders that be going on and stuff, but sometimes you ain't gonna get that lucky. You gotta, in some cases, that's why a lot of cases go unsolved at the end of the day.
Put out the song "They Don't Know," where he basically recreates the murder scene of John Collin in his music video. Now, something about Fredo was he was known as the small dude with the itchy trigger finger. He would often head over to Cameron Street just looking for trouble. I heard stories of grown-ass men like OGs from the block that would see him coming and start running, which, I mean, I would too. Bullets don't discriminate with your age. You could be 19 and small with a gun, I'm running. And the rumors on the internet is that Fredo has at least 5 bodies, including his childhood friend who went by the name of Smoke, who he actually shouts out on the song called "What Happened." I think the lyrics go, "Trying to do a kid like who? Trying to do him like Smoke." This was allegedly one of his close friends who, I guess he had to do him like that. Now, as Gfredo is racking up kills, his music is also doing really well, especially in the city. And he and 7981 Cal started to call their rap collective HSM, which stood for Headshot Mafia. Basically, you couldn't join unless you got a body. Now, as the music was picking up speed, the Boston police were starting to tap in a little more. They actually set up surveillance at NOB territories and Cameron Street territories just to try and reduce the killings. In March of 2018, less than 2 months after the murder of John Collin, investigators were conducting surveillance near Gfredo's place. They saw Fredo get picked up in a rented SUV, driving towards a residential neighborhood associated with Cameron Street. And the only reason for NOB members to be driving to that area was clearly they were looking to do drills, right? But they noticed they were being tailed by...
Gfredo literally was just on demon time 24/7. He was not trying to let up off of his ops. He wasn't even trying to let them niggas breathe. So that's just crazy, man. And then on top of that, they neighborhoods is so close, so it ain't taking no time for him and his guys to go do what they gotta do and try to find somebody, stuff like that. So that's crazy.
Police. So they started to drive and swerve in a way to get them off their trail. This led to a high-speed chase where Fredo was in the back seat and tossed the guns out the window of the SUV somewhere on the highway, dipping in and out of traffic until eventually the cops pulled them over and arrested everybody. Now, a couple people got booked, but nothing too serious. And it wasn't until the summer of 2019 where the Boston police said, "Listen, this is getting out of control. We need bigger guns." So they called in the feds to assist in the investigation. Now, in July of 2019, a kid was headshot by an NOB member. And 2 days after he died, Fredo released the video for the song Die Homes.
T-Mobile está renovando su red a un ritmo sin precedentes. Fuimos los primeros en traer...
Now, he was violating with this one. He was setting their ops' clothes on fire, simulating executions of Holmes gang members, and he filmed it right on their block, right? It was super disrespectful. All while this is going on, the feds were monitoring this shit like it was The Wire. They intercepted calls between NOB members that was coded language. They were talking about eating fish, which was coded language for take out anyone you thought was Cameron Street. I'll read a bit of the transcript, right? Check this out. Even if I'm out fishing and I got my hook in the water, I'm not gonna catch that fish because I don't know what these fishes look like, bro. Now the dude on the other line goes, any fish is food. We live in the ocean. Even if you think it's friendly, you eat that fish. Just some demonic shit, right? While all this is going on, Fredo and Cal are...
That's crazy. They even literally try to come up with their own coded, like, way to talk to each other over the phone and stuff, just in case they was getting tapped in by the feds and stuff, which they were. But they was trying to make it like literally the police wouldn't be able to put stuff together and stuff, put pieces of stuff together that they need solved pretty much at the end of the day. So other than that, though, they definitely try to outsmart the police and stuff by multiple ways, by trying to act like junkies and doing sales, but that didn't last. You're then on top of this doing coded language about fishing and eating fish and stuff like that, and they obviously didn't last long with that either. They was able to put two and two together, like, all right, this is what this all literally means and stuff. So they tried to outsmart the cops. I ain't gonna lie to you. They definitely had a good way they were going, but the police was basically smart as well. Like, they wasn't really falling for a lot of that stuff. So in the end, they was able to piece all that stuff together and decode it.
Blowing up on SoundCloud, right? They did a music video with Polo G that summer. They did one with Mozzie in October of 2019. Now, the kid who was headshot in July of 2019, he actually had a twin brother who tried to leave Cameron Street, and he tried to escape detention with NOB. They caught up to him all the way out in the suburbs of Boston, like 45 minutes away. And they did that in February of 2020. So you don't escape this. This was kind of the last straw, right? The feds had been building and building and building this case since summer of 2019. And the reason the feds were brought in was to establish what's called Rico charges. Now, you probably heard of that maybe from the Treyway case with 6ix9ine, where they got Rico charges. Basically,
and that's crazy. That boy tried to get away from it, but even when he went away, they was still able to find him. So that just goes to show you that these niggas was literally on that. Like, they was literally finding out information you think wouldn't get to them. Like, I don't even know how they even found out that dude went all the way out there. So that's just crazy right there. Yeah, 12, I see why they made them a top priority. Like, they were literally going to the extremes and literally doing crazy, just going crazy at the end of the day. And then top of that, the Rico Act, I can see why they put it all on 31 people, just because they got a lot of crimes, and like they said, it's a lot of murders and stuff that they had during that time period when all of them was out doing what they did that they didn't have answers to. So once they started seeing the music videos, the stuff they were doing to sell drugs, and the way they was getting to all their ops and stuff, no matter even if they try to move away from the whole situation, they literally was just trying to succeed at everything and outsmart them. But at the end of the day, 12 was able to find a way to get enough evidence and stuff to put against all those people. And long story short, now they all arrested. That's
before
crazy.
the RICO Act was signed into law, I think by President Reagan, it was virtually impossible to prosecute the high-level mafia dons or the leaders of the gangs, right? Because they rarely ever had direct paper trail or direct evidence of them committing the crimes. It was always enforcers. So the RICO Act let the government charge everybody as a criminal organization responsible for the individual actions people inside that gang took. So if somebody commits a murder for the express purpose of moving up in the gang and elevating the criminal enterprise, everybody can be responsible for it under RICO charges. So a couple weeks ago, the feds came in, they did a huge raid in a bunch of different boroughs of Massachusetts. They swooped in and they took down 31 members of the NOB gang, including Fredo and 7981 Cal. And as I said, literally a couple days ago, 7981 Cal released a music video for his song Rico, right? Because they knew this was coming. And looking at the indictments, they have people on bank fraud, they got people on pimping rings. They got, of course, the drug trafficking stuff from the trap houses where they were, distributing fentanyl. Of course, they got the murder charges, attempt murder charges. Reading the indictments is pretty solid. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens. But when the feds come, they don't play. I think their conviction rate is 95%. So if you're a fan of 791 Cal and G Fredo, I gotta admit, their music is fire. But they're not coming home.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I definitely, like dude said, they not coming home. I just think they definitely not, just be based off of all the information they was ever able to get off of them during the months that they were tracking and watching their every move and stuff, trying to find ways to get them arrested. And ultimately, they did find a way to get all of those people arrested. So that's crazy. They definitely just took down a whole group, literally, with all this information and stuff, evidence. And now they pretty much stuck in where they at. But other than that, man, that's pretty much the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video and stuff, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're brand new. And let me know y'all thoughts down below in the comment section and stuff. And don't forget to subscribe, like I said earlier. And I'm going to see y'all later on with more videos. Peace.